welcome to the program. This is Investment Trends, brought to you with the compliments of ZNBC and, of course, the Zambia Development Agency. Now, today we are focusing on the right and the importance of information. Now, information is power for not just individuals, but for businesses as well. Now, every business needs information to help it succeed. Companies or enterprises are growing in a very, very diverse and challenging business environment, and for that reason, information is key. The Zambia Development Agency is running an information resource department that provides business community and business trade information to just help businesses, both local and international, have an understanding of what exactly is happening in the business arena. In the studio today, we are joined by Mr. Kingsley Chibamba, who is the Acting Manager, Information Resource Department at the ZDA, to help us understand the services that are offered at the Resource Department. Mr. Chibamba, hello and welcome to the program.
Thank you, Chiru. I'm glad to be here and to discuss the need for business information today.
That's right. You're doing a pretty good job with your Resource Department. Just briefly, give us a feel of what exactly you're offering in terms of information for business owners out there who want to understand what is prevailing in the market.
The Zambia Development Agency at the area realized that information has been one of the missing resources in the development paradigms. You know, our country, Zambia, is endowed with a lot of resources. Talk about the minerals, the forests, the rivers. But still we are struggling. Development is still far from us. Then upon realizing that information is power, and in this case, business information, the Zambia Development Agency did set up the Information Resource Department, which is actually in charge and housed at the Information Resource Center on Cairo Road here in Lusaka. I come from a Christian background. I should emphasize this point. My Bible tells me that at the beginning, before anything, there was a word. To me, that word was information. So before you do that business, seek information upon it, so that even as you anchor yourself in the very difficult and much more complex environment of business, you need to understand really what is it that I'm getting into. Yeah, I have one issue with my country, especially in communities like police camps, communities like military barracks, communities like mining areas. There is this behavior where if one starts going to Rukangaba to go and bring Salaula, even the neighbor will do it. If somebody hears they are going to South Africa to bring something, or they are making this, the neighbor will just jump into it without realizing that you need to seek information first, information of value.
All right. So this issue now brings us to the issue of, for one to start a business, you need to do a survey. Like you're saying, you can't all be selling Salaula on the street. You have to see what is really going to be able to bring you more money. But in terms of services, Mr. Chibamba,
yes.
how does your department work in terms of giving out information to a simple Chilufia Mwelwa? She walks into your department, wants to find out, okay, so what is the information out there regarding running a salon, for example? What do I need? What do I have to acquire?
Okay, we have this Information Resource Center, which is well connected actually with the chambers of commerce at provincial level and also district business associations, so that we are interacting. Now, there are a lot of services within the Information Resource Center that is found on Cairo Road. We have the information resources and the information sources. The resources, that is the things, the information itself that you are seeking. Then the sources, those are the areas or the places where, I say the platforms, where the information is actually generated.
Okay.
So the Zambia Development Agency Information Resource Center is connected to the World Trade and Business Intelligence platforms of the world. We are well connected with the International Trade Center. We are well connected with the WTO, that is World Trade Organization. Also with our friends in Netherlands, the CBI, that is in Dutch, but it simply stands for the Center for the Promotion of Imports from Developing Countries.
Okay.
And there are other sources of information that we use. We have even internal databases. Then there are a lot of services that are offered to the business community. We offer services like cyberspaces. You know, it's e-commerce now.
Yes.
So the issue of learning an information center that is like based on a book, the lib, yeah, we said no, it's e-commerce now. So we had to create cyberspaces. You know, so the entrepreneurs, the business organizations are able to come in and sit on the cyberspaces. Those that are well oriented with computers and not shy, computer shy, they are able to surf and do things on their own.
Okay.
But some, we guide them to the most important world platforms.
All right.
Then we provide business advisory services in terms of business development services. How do I start a business? That information is provided, that is on one-to-one. You know, how do I achieve, for example, what we call business linkages? You know, how can my company, which is a small company, be linked to a bigger investor so that we stimulate what we call the trickle-down effects,
Yes.
you know, promoting the smaller company. And when this smaller company grows, what you see is that it starts employing other people who later actually take their children to school. That is smart. That is development, private sector-led development.
That's right. Very important indeed. So now somebody would be watching us and thinking, well, like you were saying earlier, my neighbor has bought a balo of Salaula and they want to start selling. There's business in Salaula. She's getting a lot of money. I also want to do this. How important is having information for a business? How important is it for people out there who are running businesses, who are running tuntembas, who are running big businesses, to have this information? How will it help them?
It is very important. Actually, that is the pinnacle of business. I'll talk about this.
Okay.
I hope I won't injure someone out there. You know, Mr. Piri, who retired in Ramcos then, went to Chipata and he made a big shop. All the money went into that shop. Afterwards, he went and brought in a lot of barrels of you know, bells and bells, you know, stacks and stacks, full of pajamas, you know, in Eastern Province. He was shocked. After 6 months, only one was bought by a warrior who was a student at some school there, trade school. Then after now seeking information, he realized that actually people in Eastern Province have got people they call alangis, who tell people not to wear pajamas when they get married, you know. So in such a community, you cannot sell pajamas because of alangis. So you have to have that information. When I'm selling something in Eastern Province, or I'm taking something to Congo, I need information of value. You know, you need to have the business intelligence. What is the population of that place? You need to seek that information. What is their liking? Do they like roasted coffee or dried fish? Or how do they like their cassava? You know, is it in powder form or is it in raw form for snacks or other things? So you need to know the cultural propensities of a particular people.
Right. Are people coming to your department to ask for this information?
Yes, yes. Actually, we have opened up policy and people just walk in. People just walk in and we are dealing with the business community, both at potential level and also those that are actually doing it, the existing business people. They are coming at the level of investors, that is the big investments. They are those that are now just beginning, who are the micro. Then they are what we call the small, and let alone the medium enterprises. They all come because the advisory services are, you know, in many facets.
All right. Very, very important indeed. to be able to go out there and do a market survey, others may call it, so that you understand what is being sold in your area, so that you know which kind of product or service that you can offer to members of the public. You're watching Investment Trends on ZNBC TV1. We are looking at the Information Resource Department that is run by the Zambia Development Agency and the services it offers to the business community. But now, let's take a listen to this particular clip where we spoke to some clients who were found at the Information Resource Center at the ZDA to hear what they have to say in regards to the information that they're getting. Take a listen.
The Information Resource Center is very useful, especially to the SMEs. I run an organization called CEPRON, which is Community Enterprise Promotion Network. This is a network that encompasses local organizations and associations. So what basically happens is we usually find ourselves here as a network where we are able to access information that is to do with SMEs. As a network, this is more of, it's really very pivotal when it comes to accessing information, be it partnerships, distributorship, even just the market linkages. Yes. So it's really of value to SMEs. And we really value that is ZDA for having come up with such an initiative.
I'm really trying to connect with the various engineering companies that are already participating at the airport, at our new airport facility. So from there, we are linking already, and this is the better place where I can access the internet from here. And the ZDA has also told me they've got the database. They're telling me exactly who is involved in these businesses that we are doing and running around with them. So it is one place where I reach Zambia every corner, and then a businessman who's coming in.
Welcome back to Investment Trends. That was just something quick to show you the clients that are, of course, trooping into the ZDA to get more information from the Information Resource Center. I'm here talking to Mr. Kingsley Chibamba, who is the acting manager, and he's sharing with us the services that are being offered by that particular department. Mr. Chibamba, looking at the services being offered, and it's very encouraging to hear people say that they're coming through and they're getting what they need in terms of information. Let's talk about the business intelligence and competitiveness. What kind of a service is this? What is it?
Well, the need for information actually comes from what we call business intelligence and competitiveness. The business intelligence and competitiveness, actually CI, which we call competitive intelligence, is basically the ethical gathering and analysis of competitor and market information for an enterprise to make strategic decisions. I'm talking about the ethical gathering and analysis of competitor and market information for an enterprise to be able to make strategic decisions.
Okay.
It's very important because when you gather this information, the business intelligence, which I've defined to you, viewers, countrymen and women, it's important to prevent surprises in your business.
That's true.
So you need to be ahead. You need to quick fast so that you improve on your information seeking behavior. You avoid surprises for your business.
All right.
Do you know what we call information shockwave? Just here that the whole Lusaka people have stopped wearing mini skirts because people are demonstrating against them. Your shop, your boutique won't work. So you have to know certain cultural propensities that
Right.
can surprise you anytime.
Right. So
Then-
this one has got 4 pillars. Take us through the pillars.
Oh, well, first of all, can I just emphasize that by seeking information, you get more opportunities. You have that competitive edge. So you need to set up an information monitoring cell for yourself. There are 4 pillars. 4 pillars for information monitoring. Pillar number 1, the people. The people are working with you in your enterprise.
Yes.
Yes, the people, the men and women that you work with, scale them up, scale them, motivate them, then use the human social networks for you to gather the information and for you to disseminate the information about your company.
Okay.
You know, so you remain afloat.
That's 1.
Pillar number 2, you need to understand your enterprise. The enterprise, as you set it up, it generates day-to-day information. So you have to ask a question. What do we have? What don't we have? So you start filling the gap. Then send people out there to gather information. What are people saying about our product? You could be a big bank. You could be a big investment. You could be a small enterprise.
So that could be in form of feedback.
Yeah, you need to gather the information. What is happening? What is the taste of the consumer out there? So it's important to understand the organization itself, such that even as you start building on the information systems, you don't disturb. Because when you shock the workers that are working in the organization, there will be no cohesion. People won't buy in. So the information system, as you are gathering, won't work. 3, pillar number 3, you need to understand the information sources. What are these important platforms? In Zambia, you need to understand what is happening at PACRA, for example. Business promotion organization number 1, Zambia Development Agency, mandated by the government under an act of parliament, number 11 of 2006. You need to visit the website. You know, what is the investment guide saying? How about the other section, entrepreneurship, the EDD department, that is the Enterprise Development Department? What are they saying? You know, then walk in. The Bank of Zambia, the Central Statistics, these sources of information, you need to understand them.
Okay.
Then 4, you need to give your workers and you yourself the tools. Some tools that we're going to use are online. They are important tools. Some are offline. You can just create systems, simple databases, where you commit your own information as you generate in your day-to-day operations. But I'll talk more about the online sources.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Still on the issue of online and e-commerce versus trust, what are the key issues, limitations, tools, skills that a business owner can tap into in order to ensure that there's high productivity in the company?
Well, there are many tools. First of all, you may start from the beautiful Google babies. You know,
Google.
Yeah. It's one of the greatest search engines. Yeah, but they are specialized search engines.
That's right.
Yeah, the iSquick, you know, the Xquick. You talk about Alibaba if you are trying to deal with the Asian side. You know, you just enter www.alibaba.com. You're going to find tools there, the proper search engines which gather information for you. And actually, talking about Alibaba, I visited them in Beijing about 2 years ago. You know, they have KYC, know your customer. Even as you are surfing their portal, you find that they are going to ask you cardinal questions so that you are well identified. And like that, you develop your trust. Yeah, then you can work with the International Trade Center. You know, there's what we call the market map. The market map helps you discover how countries are performing.
Okay.
You know, in terms of trade. You know, then I'll talk about the American people because I like them for one thing. To them, information is number 1. The freedom of information. You find that you can just go into the CIA web portal that is the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States. You find information on the politics of every country of the world, the population size, the culture, what they like, the behavior, the security before you penetrate that market.
All of which are very important, tools and aspects for a business that is trying to survive and trying to grow. Let's talk about the users. Who are the most, prominent users that need this information, from the owners of the business, also the clients and customers themselves? Who are the most vulnerable in terms of needing this information?
I'll tell you, Chiru, that information is user-based. Information is user-based. Speaking like this, I'll tell you that what is information to me is not information to you.
That's right.
Yes, yes. But we have tried to cater for all the categories. It could be government ministries, foreign enterprises, even as they want to come and do partnerships in Zambia, as they throw in inquiries. We have systems for inquiry reply services. We have proper advisory services one-to-one. Then you have lecturers coming in to look for statistics. We have suppliers, trying to look for cheaper sources of their goods for onward supply. Then, by the way, I wanted to talk about one important source, even as I'm discussing about our clients. I visited Cologne, USTEC in Cologne, Marseille. You enter www.ustec.com. That is for youth technologies. So some people just come to look for such information sources and import what is used technology. USTEC means used technology. You bring into the country for you to enhance productivity, and you produce more. Yeah, so we have students coming in. We have, manufacturers who are trying to look for cheaper sources of machinery. Then we have those that are looking for market intelligence. Okay. Those that are in agribusiness, for example. We are connected to the Agra Informer in London, where we have the prices even for millet. Some of these products, you can't even know. Can you find market? Can I find the price? Can I find? Then when they come, I say, okay, take a seat. I recently helped someone to penetrate the South African market. Yeah? Just at a click of a button.
All right.
It's amazing. Just
amazing
like
and very important indeed,
yes,
Mr.
yes.
Chibamba. So as we wind up, in terms of the collaborations and synergies that you have created with other stakeholders in ensuring that this information is up to date, it's standard, it's relevant to the Zambian business, and something that will be able to push them forward. Yes. Just share with me quickly that regard as we wind up.
It is important for any information service to engage in what we call information sharing and networking, because you cannot be self-endowed in terms of information resources.
No man is an island.
Yeah. So we collaborate at local level and at international level. Okay. At local level, we are working so well with the Bank of Zambia. Then we have also a formation, the one-stop shop formation, within Kwacha House Annex, where we have PACRA, the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, we have the Zambia Revenue Authority, and we are exchanging information of value at that level. We are doing researches on the balance of trade with the Bank of Zambia. Then we have also done a lot of work with the Bank of Zambia to look at investor perception for the country,
All right, so I'm going to have to stop you there for now, but it's such an interesting discussion I've had with you today. Thank you so much for coming, and I wish you all the best in terms of giving out information to members of the public and the international community as they come in.
Thank you very much. I will tell you once again, as I conclude, that information is power.
Information is power.
Where there is no information, even good lawyers lose cases.
That's right. Thank you so much. Well, this is where we wrap up our discussion for today. Thank you for watching. This has been Investment Trends. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.